Peace and blessings. I hope you guys are doing well. All praises to the Most High. All praises to our Mellah King, Yahushua HaMashiach. For without him, where would we be? I know I had this live scheduled at 2 o'clock. Originally, it was supposed to be 5. I think I set it for 5, but I was on a different time when I had set it up, so I had to change it. I changed it to 2 o'clock, but then I left my dentist appointment a little late, uh, so I had to switch it. And then I said, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll do it at 5. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Since I'm feeling like I want to do it now, I'll just go ahead and just do it. But the title of this live, or should I say discussion that I want to talk about, is Dexterity and Superpowers. Subtitle is The Line Where Wisdom and Spirit Meets. So I think that first off, the whole superpower thing, is pretty evident. A lot of target individuals, or should I say, quote unquote, target individuals, a lot of them talk about this, and just a lot of brothers and sisters who are in the faith. You understand what I'm saying? Who understands, the spirit of the Most High, and how it's a consuming fire, and how He will bestow power upon His people. You understand what I'm saying? And if you just look out throughout scriptures, and you'll see, a lot of this kind of thing play out. As in terms of dexterity, I keep telling you guys that it's not by way of us. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us who are put into this program are dexterous people. You understand what I'm saying? There is this saying that we have high IQs. I don't really agree with that 100%. I don't really agree with the whole IQ thing 100%, only because I feel like IQ is not really necessarily a thing when we're talking about it from a academic standpoint, and institutional, like education is concerned. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we've all been indoctrinated in the educational systems, and the educational system as a whole doesn't necessarily allow for the individuals to access, you understand what I'm saying, the greatest computer that we have, which is this mind that the Most High has given us. You understand what I'm saying? They won't allow for us to use, its capacity. They try to they try to tell us little things about how to, use our faculty of reasoning seat, which is logic, or they try to say, okay, well, you got to use your critical thinking to figure out certain things, but it's still indoctrination, because really all you're doing when it comes to learning things are just memorizing. So it's just a memorization game. You understand? Anytime you're given multiple choice questions, you know that you've been, um, what's the word? Conditioned, okay, or taught something, and then having to repeat it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily give you the free reign to access, your freedom of choice, your reasoning skills, your critical thinking. You understand what I'm saying? So the educational system as a whole does dumb us down. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against education, okay, but I am against institutionalized education. Okay, that's what I am against. Okay, because it hasn't done anything for any of us. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was worth something, don't get me wrong. Because at the end of the day, I would encourage a person, especially a young person, to go. Once you've made it through K through 12, if you want to go to college, it's up to you. But I will encourage them that you don't have to, because at the end of the day, you've done what's necessary. You've gathered enough um, intel. You understand what I'm saying, on how to operate, and how to learn things. You understand what I'm saying, in this world, and then utilize them. So all you really need to do is go and find your trade. You understand? So that's the main thing that I would tell a young person is that go and find your trade. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is, that's more practical. You get what I'm saying? As opposed to going to college and, being milked, you understand, from your time, and half of those people, who are in colleges, these kids, they can't even pay for food. You understand what I'm saying? So they're eating oodles and noodles. You understand, kibbles and bits. You get what I'm saying? And then on top of that, they get out of those colleges and then they have to pay all that money back. And then there's no guarantee that they're going to actually find a job in the field that they went and majored and slaved in, right? Trying to learn all that stuff, right? All the theory of it instead of the practical side of things. So that's why I will encourage a young person, finish high school, yes, K through 12, okay, get your diploma, and then go learn a trade, okay? But if you want to, you can do what you want to do. I mean, that's just really what it is. Some people believe that in order to change certain industries, you have to join them, right? They say if you can't beat them, join them, right? That type of thing. In order to change it, you got to go within to dismantle it. But I argue that that is BS. Okay, you don't have to. But going back to the whole IQ thing in academia, I really just believe that IQ is not really a thing. So that's why it doesn't hold up with me. When a person says, "Oh, well, I have a high IQ," you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of um, psychologists as well as psychiatrists, they use that scale, and I talk a lot about this, in the research that I've come up with, and that is the ink blot Zagoni test, right? Where they show you the moving pictures, right? And pretty much, you're the one who's basically saying what it is. So they base that off of, okay, well, your intellect, okay, cool. This person, well, what is it called? This is the best way to sum it up. Optical illusions. That's what it is. Optical illusions. They play with our minds. You understand what I'm saying? And we see that on a daily basis. Okay. So they base that on if you can pretty much sum up the closest to what the optical illusion really is, because then based off of that, then they'll score you high or low. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, that's not fair. That's number one. And then on top of that, it's not accurate. You can't measure a person's dexterity based off of optical illusions and things that has already been put into place for that person to either excel at or fail at. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not really giving them the fair share to really make it happen. You understand what I'm saying? So it still does dumb us down. I told you guys that they have put us into an ever state of retardation, spiritual retardation. You understand what I'm saying? And for the most part, a lot of us are, while we know what retardation really is, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like spiritual, dexterity is really what is important, because that's what wisdom is. And I told you guys what wisdom means to me. It is being able to accept correction and give it. You understand what I'm saying? That is what wisdom is to me. You understand? And dexterity, a true dexterous person to me is a person who learns from their mistakes. You understand? And does their best to not repeat them, and attempts to live. I said attempts to live. That means try to live by the holy word that was set before the foundations of this world as we know it. That's true wisdom. And you can go and read um, Solomon's wisdom for that. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think that he was the epitome of that. He made so many mistakes, but you'll see that play out throughout the scriptures with a lot of the Most High's people. You understand? A lot of them making mistakes and things of that nature, but it is the correction and the will to accept correction and accept your wrongdoing and repent. You understand what I'm saying? And don't do it again. You get what I'm saying? Or is there going to be backsliding? Yes. Are you going to have some setbacks? Yes. Is that the case for everyone? No. But the Most High knows your heart at the end of the day. He knows if you're going to repent. He knows if you're sincere or not. And that's what it really comes down to. Because if you have an open heart that's willing to receive what the Spirit of the Most High is saying, You understand what I'm saying? Then how could you fall short? How could you fall short? Okay. So that's really what it comes down to. Okay. Dexterity is not determined by memorization. Okay. How many SAT scores you can score high at, right? It's not about that. Being a academic Olympic, Olympian, should I say, an academic Olympian, right? And that's what they do. They try to throw people in the academia Olympics or politics of things. You understand what I'm saying? And they expect people to to really last. But the truth is that all these scores with well, let me say this before I get back to that. I want to say this right now, though, with the whole pandemic and things like that was going on. It's interesting because these kids can't read right now. These kids right now, they cannot read, and that is a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's a problem because they've been too pre-exposed to the lattice, the internet, right? And as a result, you know um their learning skills are depleted because all they care about is what they see online. You understand? And then they see all of these ads. They're seeing they're going through all of this conditioning, right? These layers of conditioning. And as a result of that, these children now know that, oh, okay, well, I can become a millionaire just by creating content. So I don't have to know how to read. I don't have to know geography. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't have to know where true north is. I don't have to know where south is, east or west. You understand what I'm saying? Like these are basic things, though. That they teach you in K through 12. They do. You understand what I'm saying? They really do. And like I said before, I really believe that the internet, social media as a whole has become the new reality TV or just become TV. You remember they used to say reality TV is the new TV? Well, I beg to defer to say that social media, okay, is now the new TV. It is. It really is. Okay. So it's just interesting. Like I know you guys know, like, and then these parents was getting pissed off because they had to help their children, during the pandemic and things like that. But come to find out, the parents didn't even too much know how to do kindergarten math, kindergarten, English. Didn't even know how to do social studies. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a shame, how conditioned we are. We're conditioned only to memorize so much and then put it in the vault. You understand what I'm saying? Whether we're doing it subconsciously or consciously, put it in the vault, and then of course, that's buried. So it's like you don't have to access that anymore because all you're worried about is being a worker bee and only using the information that's necessary to use as it pertains to the job description, right? That's how we're trained. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is. Um, Dexterity, like I said, true dexterity is wisdom. Okay. Um, Solomon, of course, as we know, like I said, I have to use him as an example again. He was the most wisest man because he made so many mistakes. And if it had not been for David, you understand what I'm saying? And if it had not been for him knowing the importance of repentance, the importance of sackcloth and ashes, you understand what I'm saying? Then he would have been ripped to shreds. The Most High, I'm sure, would have ended him. You understand what I'm saying? But of course, the Most High made a covenant. You understand what I'm saying? He made a covenant at the end of the day. He chose, holy bloodlines. That's why that is the bloodline, that he obviously had to come through. This is the reason why I keep telling people that the bloodline was cleansed already. And I'm saying that to say that if you're in this program, you understand, and if you're of the Most High, you know if you're of the Most High or not. I don't have to sit up here and pinpoint, oh, you're not. I don't have to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not my place. Number one, and then number two, and he knows. Okay, and he knows. You understand what I'm saying? Do people can people be delusional and really believe that they're actually doing the Most High's will? Absolutely. That's the reason why he said, "Be gone from me. I never knew you." Because they're going to say things like that, like, "Have I not cast out devils in your name?" and blah blah blah. You understand? Absolutely. Those people are delusional because they really believe that they can do both. They can have this world and they can have him. And if you want the world, then of course we already know that you're worshiping the fallen. You understand what I'm saying? Because they rule this right now. Okay? And that's just really what it is. And I believe that, like I said, once again, there's a fine line between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge does not equate you to being well, I guess you can be a smart person, but see, that's why I don't even say that anymore because we already know what smart stands for, right? They got their smart water, they got their smart popcorn, they got their smart cars, right? And then now they have their smart brains, right? That is a conditioned mind. You understand what I'm saying? A manufactured mind is what a smart mind is. That's why I don't even equate myself to somebody who's smart. You understand what I'm saying? I really don't. I don't equate myself to somebody who is smart. I don't deny my intellect, but I do not say that I am a smart person, nor can I say that to somebody else. But if you are really truly smart, then I can say that about you because that means that will make you worldly. Because a smart person is going to know the world that they live in and care so much that they'll do anything to keep it. That is what a smart person does. That is what a person with knowledge does, not a person with wisdom. Person with wisdom is going to love not their life until the end. A person with wisdom is going to hold thou fast what they have because they know that somebody's trying to take their crown. That is what a person with wisdom is going to do. A person with wisdom is going to repent quickly. A person with wisdom is going to acknowledge their wrongdoing. Okay? A person with knowledge is going to search their records, right? In their mind, right, of what they've gathered by being alive. And see, that's the thing. A lot of people they'll misconstrue the idea of what wisdom is because they think, oh, well, this person has a lot of wisdom because they've been living a long time. Do you know that there's a lot of people who are in their golden years who just all they have is knowledge? And I know that that may be hard for a lot of people to say, but the thing is that if you have not been living your life for Mashiach, you understand what I'm saying? And you that old now, what type of wisdom are you really truly giving? All you can just have is knowledge at this point. Yeah, you can tell people, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, okay, that's basic. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm talking about how to live holy. That is what is important. Because a person with knowledge, like I said, is going to search their records in their mind, right? And they're going to figure out any and every possible way to do things from a carnal perspective based off of the things that they have learned throughout life, throughout the world that they've been in. And I told you guys that when you are, even though we're physically here on this earth, when we pray and when we fast and we go into, when we start, like I said, praying without ceasing, you have to understand that we are present with the Most High, even on the Sabbath too. You get what I'm saying? And we're keeping his Sabbath, we're keeping his commandments, we're keeping the feast days. You understand what I'm saying? Or we're just, meditating on his word. We're with him, present in spirit. That's how the angels are able to minister to us. You understand? And that's how we're able to get, broad transmissions, should I say, from him. You understand? That's how we're able to receive it. Okay. So that's the dexterity thing part of things. I feel like that was pretty self-explanatory. Everybody is not a dexterous person. I feel like true dexterity is a person, like I said, who understands wisdom. You get what I'm saying? So just look at all of the prophets, right? I'm going to use them as an example. Look at all of the prophets, right? Um, and you'll see exactly what it is, how these men were so esteemed. You get what I'm saying? In wisdom, okay? Not knowledge. They were highly esteemed in wisdom because of what their forefathers taught them. And don't get it twisted. There were people who were still highly esteemed with wisdom who made mistakes, and it cost them their lives. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we still are in this world. Paul said that we have to die every day, right? Yes. We got to pick up our cross daily. You understand what I'm saying? Because every day your flesh must be killed. You understand? That's why it's important for us to, and me too, trust me. Like when I say all this stuff, I'm saying it for myself as well. All right. I'm saying it for myself as well. Okay. Um, each day you step outside your door, you should not leave without making sure that you are covered in the blood of Hamashiach from head to toe. You understand what I'm saying? And all you need to do is pray. Be in and out of season, he said. So it's up to us to still remain studying, study to show ourselves approved. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't want nobody to come along and then try you. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the Most High, he said that I'm going to give you the words that neither your enemies nor your adversaries will be able to gainsay. So at the end of the day, he said, worry not what you will say on that day, because he gonna give it to you regardless, because the scriptures are written in you. It's written on your heart, and that is a precept as well. The word is written on your heart. Okay. Enough of that about the whole dexterous thing. Okay. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now this whole superpower thing. This is the fun part, right? I guess. So the whole superpower thing, right? Um, we've seen a lot of comics. I'm a big fan of comics. I've always been a big fan of comics. I've always been a big fan of anime and things like that. A lot of us are, anyways. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us are, anyways. But if you've read a lot of the comics, you understand, or just read the details or the specs of what these so-called superhumans have, or mutants, should I say, what type of powers that they've had. You understand? Like these are literally powers that the angels have. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these angels, the angels up in heaven, have those abilities. But not only do these angels have these abilities, but also the Most High's people, because you can also put your spirit on someone, right? And we've seen that with Eliyahu, Elijah, right? We've seen that because Elisha, or Elisha, should I say, he was the one that asked for a double portion of Elijah's spirit. So Elijah, you understand what I'm saying? He said, "This is the hard thing that you're asking for me to do." But he said that I'll still do it. I'll still do it. But it's a very hard thing you asking for. You understand? But I'm gonna still do it. And we know the story. He was carried away on a chariot, and that was the last time he saw him. And then, of course, he left his mantle with Elisha, and he took the mantle and he said, "Where is the Elohim of Elijah?" Damn, and he hit it on the waters, right, and it parted, right, and he went back across. So you can put your spirit, on someone. You understand what I'm saying? And the mantle was representative of that. Another thing that I want you guys to also think about, I won't go into detail about this today, just only for the sake of time, because I don't want to spend so much time talking about this. But remember, the Most High gave Joseph a coat with many colors, right? He gave Joseph a coat with many colors. I want you to understand that, because a lot of people are taking, the scriptures, and you have to see it from the lens of a figurative standpoint, and you have to see it from the lens of a literal standpoint, as well as what's the other word? So it's spiritual, figurative, and literal, right? So those are the three ways to kind of view the scriptures as. You understand? Uh, because the angels, and it's pretty obvious, like, the Most High makes it obvious. Like, I feel like, if you're a person who really, 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 really study the scriptures, you understand the numbers, all of that coincides with precepts. You understand, even when you are, really actively dividing the scriptures the right way, right? Line up on line, here a little, there a little, right? And you'll see that if you pay attention to some of the words, you understand they do coincide with one another, because the scriptures will interpret themselves. Okay, that's why anyone like who's searching for scriptures can't just try to pull up vague scriptures. You understand what I'm saying? And that just goes over your head. Not when you know the scriptures. You get what I'm saying? Because what they're saying is going to be able to coincide with it. And then, let alone, you have the Most High Spirit dwelling in you, right? You have the Ruach. So that's going to tell if a person is telling the truth or not. Okay. So the point I want to make in the scriptures is that it's obvious that how the Most High has the scriptures set up. And even though, the evil ones, the fallen, they have tried to take out books and tried to change certain vowels and consonants and certain letters, in the scriptures, they still weren't able to do away with what the scriptures carry. You understand? Because they are alive. So that is a spirit within itself. You understand what I'm saying? Because the word is Hamashiach, right? So they weren't even able to do away with that. So the Bible alone is enough for you to get salvation. I'm just telling you that. Okay. So you'll see little things like that give symbolism to who were angels in the scriptures. And usually the prophets were the ones that were angels. Okay. And that's my argument, like I said, I'm not going to debate with anybody, but I could provide scriptures, many scriptures that are telltale signs about who were angels and who were not angels. But usually the prophets, um, in the scriptures were usually the angels, and Hebrews backs that up as well. You understand what I'm saying? Hebrews backs that up as well. So, the whole superpower thing, okay? How do you think that Elijah, and how do you think, I'm gonna go back to Moses and Aaron, how do you think that they've done that, right? How do you think they did that? Of course, we know that they did that by the Spirit of the Most High, right? We already know that. It was by the Spirit of the Most High, right? And they were filled with his spirit upon high. Okay. And I also argue that for a person, especially a prophet, for them to be filled with that much spirit, you understand what I'm saying? That much powerful spiritual power. Okay, let me say that. Okay, that immense spiritual power, for them to be filled with that. You understand what I'm saying? They would have had to have been somebody who was 100% devoted to the Most High. Okay, 100% devoted to their people, devoted to the assignment that they were given, or should I say assignments, because it was more than one, you know, and they didn't abuse that. You get what I'm saying? They did not abuse it. And I argue also, the Most High is not going to give spiritual power like that to somebody who is a random. And the reason why I argue that is because, remember, the scriptures say that he knew us before the foundations of this earth. So he knows whose names is written or not. So that means that we were with him before we even came through the gates of the matrix. Okay? So that means that we were with him before we came through the gates of the matrix. So he's not going to trust that type of power or any of those assignments with anyone that he did not know already. And this I know. This I know. This I know. And he already revealed that to me. Okay. So it's not just random people that he's picking. Okay. It's random to the people who don't know him. And obviously to the people that the Most High are sending, you understand what I'm saying, his messengers to prophesy against. You understand? So of course they're not going to 100% understand. They're going to think that this person is a random. But at the end of the day, the Most High knows who this person is, and obviously the Most High trusts this person with that much spiritual power. That's why I said that he wouldn't have just chosen. Remember, he said today, they said you had a heart. He had a heart like mine. So this it's just certain like telltale signs. You get what I'm saying? That the Most High will give us uh to let us know that we're his. And it pretty much is evident throughout the scriptures who belonged to him and who did not. And without getting into the whole reincarnation thing, because I know that's not the topic, but Jacob's ladder is that. He said that you'll see angels ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Okay, that's what Jacob's ladder is. It is angels coming down, literally descending. That's what the whole thing. Remember when John the Baptist had baptized Hamashiach, remember the spirit of Yah came down and descended upon him like a dove. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand those are telltale signs. Same thing with John the Baptist. John did not know that he was Elijah in a previous life because he was not in the same body. And he really just did not know. You understand what I'm saying? He literally just did not know. That's why he denied it straight up. But that was Elijah who had come. Of course, he was in a state of forgetfulness because the truth is that it's only by faith. You understand what I'm saying? That you will be tested and try to see where your loyalty lies. You understand? And this is how the angels in heaven are actually how they're brought up higher in ranking. You understand what I'm saying? Is by proving themselves, to the Most High, that they're willing to go through a state of forgetfulness, find their way back to Him by way of faith, and do what they've been sent to do. Master that or succeed at it, because it's only by faith will they succeed. And then they return back. You understand what I'm saying? And that is how the Most High, this is how ranking ship happens. Of course, because we know there's a hierarchy with angels. Uh, I didn't want to go on a little rant about that, but I had to kind of lay that out, the foundation of that. There also is a thing that, remember when Michael was disputing with Satan about the body of Moses. The reason why is because Michael inhabited that vessel. That's the reason why they can't find Moses' body. They can't find Elijah's body because Elijah died too. They can't find his body. They can't find any of the holy prophets' bodies anymore, because those were holy vessels that the Most High used by way of his angels. So he's not going to allow for the fallen ones to get their hands on that, because they're obsessed with trying to consecrate. They're obsessed with necrophilia, necromancy. You understand what I'm saying? But of course, we know that they can't give life to anything. But just the thought of that, like, you know what I mean? Like, all they want to do is just use those things as a means of having objects that are holy, so that they can taint them. And that's just really what it's about. And I think the perfect the perfect example of that played out visually is in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. I showed you guys that scene on my channel as well, where Stephen Strange, he performs a necromancy ritual where he inhabits a dead corpse, which was his dead body in another universe, so-called universe, right? So he, in another universe, okay, in the multiverse, he went and mind dived or spirit dived and did this necromancy ritual and inhabited that dead body where he died in another universe. And then he was like spirit walking, that type of thing. You understand what I'm saying? And then the demons, like these fallen angel spirits, were telling them like Stephen Strange possessing a dead body is forbidden, and they were trying to kill him because of that reason. But that's how you know that the fallen cannot give life to anything. You understand what I'm saying? So that's like the best example for that. So I argue that Jacob's ladder is the reincarnation of angels, or should I say, angels descending upon the Son of Man, being put into a state of forgetfulness and being tried, tested in the spirit, so that they can overcome and gain rankingship for the Most High. And this is how they keep things going and in order. This is how the Most High keeps things going in order, is by using His people. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why I tell you that if you're His, He knows you already. You clearly do have spiritual power, and this is another reason why the people, excuse me, the wicked who are running this program and ruling this earth right now, the fallen, they know. You understand what I'm saying? Who's in what bodies? You understand what I'm saying? They know who's blood marked. You understand what I'm saying? They know all that stuff. You get. So this is the reason why the Most High has allowed for us to be activated in certain stages of our lives. You get what I'm saying? So everybody's activation happened very differently, where you were made known to certain things that was happening. It's like, I know in a lot of our lives as youngins, you know, we took heed to some of the stuff that was happening, but it wasn't enough for us to really snap out of, being dead in sin, right? It wasn't enough. But we knew something wasn't right. You get what I'm saying? So that was still the Most High. That's why I said He wrestles with us. That was still the most High tugging on our spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Trying to pull us up out of the depths of the slums of the abyss, right? Out of sin, darkness, perpetual darkness. You understand that of which that we were submerged in. And no one can deny that. That's why He said that the saints will overcome the enemy with their testimony. Okay, and that's just a fact. That is just a fact. Okay. But we've seen a lot of the things that have happened to us as children, seen a lot of things that has happened around us in our environment. So we knew some things were not right. We knew. You understand? We just couldn't come to a full head, right? Until we were activated. And then we were made known to everything, and the Most High showing you everything. And it's like you're being hit with pancakes, right? Run from the right, run from the left, run from the top, run from the bottom, right? Or from the back, should I say. So yeah, it's just interesting to see that type of thing. So we've all been given spiritual power. That's why He said, I give you spiritual authority to trample over serpents and scorpions. He said, not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. He also says that you will go on to do greater works than I have done. You get what I'm saying? And if you look at the things that Hamashiach has done in the past, turning water into wine, okay, walking on water. How do you think He did that? And that's why I told you guys, I argue also. There's a lot of people that's saying that, His eyes was red because He drank a lot of wine. And I don't think that that's 100% accurate. Although we know that He drank wine, but He was not a wine bibbler. That's like saying He was a wine bibbler. Okay. He just drank a lot of wine. He was just drinking wine, all day or whatever. And He was not. But I argue that the reason why his eyes were in fact red was because of the fasting. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only way that they could have done any of that. You know, of course, it was by way of the spirit of the Most High. But when you fast, you have to understand when you fast. I keep telling people the power of fasting is very, very um, unmatched. The power of fasting is underrated. You get what I'm saying? It is. The power of fasting is underrated. And you have to know that witches and warlocks fast as well because they know. You understand what I'm saying? They know. Jezebel was the perfect um, testament to that. You get what I'm saying? And even all of the so-called brethren who were Gentiles scattered amongst the Gentiles because the Most High had taken their names. So Israel scattered amongst the Gentiles who had become Gentiles because of poor worship, right? And idolatry. Those were the same ones who remember when they killed Stephen, right? When they stoned him, they proclaimed a fast that they were not going to eat. And they did the same thing to Hamashiach. Remember, they did that to Hamashiach. They said that they weren't going to eat. They did the same thing to Paul, too. You understand what I'm saying? They did not want to eat nothing until Hamashiach was dead. They did not want to eat nothing until they killed Paul. They did not want to eat anything until they killed Stephen. You get what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted. Like, the disciples are one and the same as well. You understand what I'm saying? But usually, when you've seen a lot of, oh, okay, this is the perfect thing I want to say before this slips my mind. So when when I was talking about how the Most High knows us and he's not going to bestow immense spiritual power upon someone who's a random, I'm talking about spiritually. You understand what I'm saying? Unless he's actually known you, is because remember when Hamashiach showed up on the scene, he saw Nathaniel under a was it a fig tree? Or, no, I think it was I don't know if it was a juniper tree or a fig tree. I think it was a fig tree. He saw him sitting up under the tree, and remember he said, "I knew you," and he was like, "Oh, Rabbi, Rabbi, Rabbi." He was like, "Oh, you tell me you tell me that I'm the rabbi because I told you so, that I knew." You know what I mean? And that was, like I said, like those are like telltale signs. You understand what I'm saying? Um, they didn't know 100% that that was literally Yah in the flesh. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't know that, but he was given signs, right? Literally and figuratively, right? He was saying a lot of parables, okay? And a lot of those parables were for us. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why a lot of the scriptures are written in parables, because a lot of that are for us anyways, for the true ones to decipher and to gain understanding with. You understand what I'm saying? Not to make it seem like as if it's like some big secret thing, but the scriptures are coded like that. If you don't have the Ruach, dwelling in you and the will to want to gain understanding through the scriptures, then yeah, you're going to read it and not understand what it is. It's going to be like poetry to you, and or some like Shakespeare stuff, right? Because that's what they like to put the Bible in the occult section anyways, because that's what they've done. They've twisted and turned the scriptures and used it for occultism, occultism. Okay, they've used that for that. Okay, but yeah, the Most High knows who we are. He's not going to give any just random person an immense amount of spiritual power if he didn't already know you, and if he didn't already trust that you knew what to do with it. You get what I'm saying? Because when Elijah was doing all those things, and when Elijah fasted and prayed earnestly for a drought, you understand what I'm saying? He said, "By my hands will the heavens be shut up, and no rain will drop." So it'll only be by his hands, by his prayer, okay? By his prayer. But the Most High gave him that spiritual authority. But if he wouldn't have given him that just randomly, if he did not already know him, you get what I'm saying? If he did not already know him, and if he did not already trust that he was going to do and complete the assignment that he was given, The same thing with Moses, the same thing with Caleb, the same thing with Stephen, the same thing with Joshua. You understand what I'm saying? Like the list goes on. You understand what I'm saying? And Hebrews is a testament to that. Um, that's why I say I argue that a lot of the prophets were actually, in fact, angels. You get what I'm saying? And I made a point about that in a video where I was talking about how Stephen, they said his face was like that of an angel. Like, come on, like that was pretty literal. You get what I'm saying? Like that was pretty literal. Okay. It was pretty literal. So those were, ancient superpowers that, these men of Yah were actually doing. You get what I'm saying? Of those days. So just imagine, you understand what I'm saying, what's happening now on the earth. And then for his people that he have already known before the foundations of the world, you understand? And he has given the spiritual power too. Just imagine, you get what I'm saying, in this day and age, how that's going to look. So of course these people are afraid of us. Of course. I mean, if I were them, I would be afraid too. You get what I'm saying? Like I see how these people y'all see how they treat you. They shake, their hands be shaking when they have to give you things. You go to the grocery store, right? And try to you shaking to try to back up my things. What for? I'm not a monster. Even though that's what they're trying to deflect, right? We're the monsters. We're the evil ones, right? Remember they did that to Hamashiach. They called him a wizard, a warlock, right? They were deflecting at the end of the day but that y'all know what y'all do in the dark though. I'm not sitting around here working dark arts behind closed doors. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that. I'm not praying for somebody to die of cancer or to die this horrid death. I'm praying for my enemies. You understand what I'm saying? To catch fire, absolutely. And I don't have, he said, suffer not of which live, and I already told you that. So that's in itself, it speaks volumes. You get what I'm saying? If you know spiritual warfare, I don't know why you tiptoeing around. That's the only way that we're going to win this. Now, like I said, I ain't going to be stupid and tell you, if you have a family, you understand what I'm saying, that you don't need any type of, you don't need to bear arms. Of course you do. Of course you should bear arms. I mean, this is getting crazy around here. Absolutely. You need to protect your family. You understand? The Most High is going to see to it that you're good. But if a motherfucker steps up on your property, breaks into your home, you understand what I'm saying? You got a wife, you got kids, absolutely blast their ass back. Like, you'd be a fool not to do that. I don't understand that. You have a right to do that. You'd be crazy not to. Okay. Am I saying go and take and buy a gun? You understand what I'm saying? And go kill somebody? No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. That people love to mince other people's words, but I'm just letting it be known. It's too many of them, number one. And I keep telling you guys that. So if we always think of it from a carnal perspective of fighting, you understand what I'm saying? With fists, it's a battle that we're gonna lose if we think of it like that. Because we already surrounded. You get what I'm saying? They have this embankment around us. So at the end of the day, all we can do is pray. Like I said though, you'd be a fool, you understand, to sit up there and let somebody put their hands on you. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you just come on now, like that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what to do in that moment. You get what I'm saying? I'm not, me personally, I defend myself if you put your hands on me. I have a right to do that. I'm not going to just stand up there and let you kill me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm going to defend myself. Because at the end of the day, if it's my time to go, I know it's going to be by way of the Most High's allowance. That's just it, and that's all. You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing that I can do to try to change that. I'd be a fool to think that I can try to change my fate in that moment, if that is what the Most High has ordained to happen. You get what I'm saying? So that's just really what it is. But I know that I have more spiritual power, and I have more power in the spirit than I do in the physical, because I'm only one person. I don't necessarily have a manpower, that is to say, multiple bodies or people in numbers, right, behind me. Yeah, I do have this connection that we all collectively share from afar. You get what I'm saying? So we are actively together in the spirit. And I told you guys, when we're physically here, we're still spiritually with the Most High in heaven as well. You get what I'm saying? This is how that connection remains intact. Okay. That's how that connection remains intact. When we're praying, when we're fasting, all of that. Okay. But I told you that the power of fasting is so important, especially if you're a person in this program. You understand what I'm saying? You must fast. I'm telling you. If you're a person in this program, you must fast. Okay. I'm not saying go and do something extreme and don't eat anything. Okay. Um, you have to be a person, if you do a dry fast, you have to be a person who's used to doing a dry fast, like me. Like I can do a dry fast. Okay. And I'm not boasting or nothing like that. I'm just used to that. I can do a dry fast. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't need water. I don't need anything. But sometimes I have to tell myself off of food. You know what I mean? And I'll just go ahead and just drink some tea. I'll drink some water just to tell myself off. And then, I'll start doing the dry fast or whatever the case may be. But it's all up to what the Most High instructs you to do. I think that is the worst thing that we can do is follow our own hearts, right? He said, lean not on our own understanding. So if he wants you to fast, he's going to make it known to you in so many different ways. Okay. So the Hamashiach was not, I believe, he was not sitting up there just drinking bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles of wine. Okay. Like he was just a wine bibbler. So I don't think that his eyes was red because he drank wine. I believe that his eyes were actually red because he fasted often, and he had to. I mean, look at what he was up against. The whole entire world was against him, you know, and it was only just a micro few of them peppered who believed. You understand? And then, of course, those who would go on to believe later on, who would be born later, you get what I'm saying, would be those believers as well. But just imagine, like, you have the whole world against you. How could you not fast? You understand what I'm saying? How could you not? How could you not? He had no choice but to, so he can stay close to the Father. Okay. So that is how he did a lot of the supernatural things that he had done. You understand what I'm saying? Walking on water, turning um uh water into wine, and multiplying bread, multiplying fishes, that they ate, and things like that, casting out devils. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that on a full stomach. Are you kidding me? If you really ask somebody who's really exercised somebody or just helped, cast out demons out of someone, they have not done that on a full stomach. You understand what I'm saying? They have not. They have not. I promise you they haven't. You can't do that on a full stomach. You can't. How can you? You get what I'm saying? Because you have to fast. You have your flesh has to die every day, and you have to be so detached from the physical to be able to step into your spiritual calling and operate and continue to operate in that. You understand what I'm saying? That takes a lot. You understand what I'm saying? It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of spiritual and physical endurance. Okay. But this is why I'm telling you, when you fast, you do become a lot more powerful. I'm telling you. And for people who do fast, you'll know that they say that they do experience some level of euphoria. Okay. As well. And that is a side effect to it. You get what I'm saying? That is like a natural side effect to it. You do experience some level of euphoria, but you can get winded and things like that. That does happen. But I've learned that, when I fast and then I start praying, it charges me back up. Like, once again, like the Most High charges me back up. But I'm only needing to fast for so long to do whatever it is that he wanted me to do that day, that week, that month, right? So that's what it really comes down to. To be able to operate in these spiritual powers, you get what I'm saying? Like, fasting is important. And that's just something that I have to say and tell people, about the superpowers that were displayed throughout the scriptures, that of the ancients. They didn't do that on a full stomach. Okay. Moses didn't he did not smite the earth with the 10 plagues of Egypt, should I say, excuse me, on a full stomach. He did not. I promise you he didn't. And it don't actually even tell you if he ate or not, though, but we already know what it is. You get what I'm saying? We already know what it is because it gets backed up in uh the scriptures when Elijah shows up in First Kings, right? When he shut up the heavens for 3.5 years, okay, and it didn't rain, right? And then when remember when he chased the chariot to he made it to the gate before the chariot made it. Remember Ahab was on his way to the gate and he ran. I'm telling you, he sped like an Olympian. You get what I'm saying? And mind you, he didn't even have anything to eat in his body when he did all that. And then remember when he traveled to Mount Sinai, right? 40 days and 40 nights on his way there, of course, the Most High sent an angel to feed him, right? He drank what was left of the brook up until of his time, and he went in the strength of that meat and the water for 40 days and 40 nights. John the Baptist did the same thing. Do you think he baptized Hamashiach on a full stomach? No. I want you guys to just understand this, though, the connection between this and the power of fasting. Okay. It is very, very important. That's why these people around me, they already know that I know. And then they get mad when I'm not eating. They get pissed off. That's why they always send them, if I need to go out to try to eat in my face. Or they'll leave food on the ground, they'll waste food and put it out on the streets, you know what I mean, just to try to entice me to eat so I can break my fast, right? That's what that is about. Okay, I just want you to understand that fasting is very, very important. In the Apocalypse of Elijah, there's a precept that says that a pure fast is what the Most High honors. That's what he does. He honors a pure fast. Okay, so in order to do any of the things like the Ancients of Days, and I don't want to like keep comparing that because Scripture already says that Hamashiach said that you guys will go on to do greater things than I have done, and we know that he's done greater things than the ancient prophets, right? And now today that means that we're going to do greater things than what he has done and the prophets. Okay, so it's important that you get in you study to show yourself approved. You understand what I'm saying? And it ain't witchcraft. Not when you know and you operate in your spiritual authority. And like I said, in order to do that, you have to fast. That is how warfare is engaged. Okay. Because when we're in our idle sleep, that is to say, when we're in REM, right? That is when we're attacked the most because we're vulnerable. We're vulnerable. Our body is in idle, right? Our mind is in REM. And that's when the enemy can swoop on in and tether our imaginations or tether our dreams, right? And induce what they want, to induce and try to consummate while we're sleeping so that that can manifest in the physical. And then, this is the reason why a lot of people have attachments to devils by way of covenants that were made in the dream state. That is to say, the spirit, because you didn't pray. You're just not well equipped, with what is necessary. The word has to be in you, filled daily, and you have to be praying. This is for me too, though. Okay, because I didn't had times where I didn't slept up and I didn't even pray before I went to sleep. But I have to get in the habit of doing that, praying. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like just praying, like just for a few seconds. You understand? Sometimes you got to pray for a few minutes to an hour. Sometimes it's like that. I'm telling you, like sometimes it's like that. Like it just really depends. I go with the flow. Like the Most High is going to pull that out of me no matter what. Okay, so he knows what is necessary. And he'll tell you, like, keep on praying. Like that, he'll tell me that keep praying. You understand what I'm saying? I'll stop you, and you'll just know because he'll stop you. And when you start to do that, that sets the tone already. You get what I'm saying? For the enemy. He already now looking and lurking from afar because he's like, okay, yeah, yeah, I ain't gonna mess with him because yeah, he gonna wake up the moment we try to get him and get back on his face and start praying. You understand what I'm saying? Or she's gonna wake up, in the midst of us trying to attack her, and she's gonna start praying. You understand what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a loss for them, and they already know they didn't already lost. Okay, so yeah, that's the whole superpower thing of that. You understand? And I know that um the scriptures say that the Most High is coming back to enact judgment with his people. You understand what I'm saying? His holy angels and his elect, right? And there's going to be a big war, right? Huge war. I remember I had a vision about that too. I mean, I don't know if I think I may have recited that on my other channel. I think I might have, where I said I saw a huge war breaking out, and it was many angels fighting, many angels, dark and light angels. They were all fighting. Like it was this huge war going on. So I believe that that is definitely um, that of the Great War, of course, when the Most High comes back. Um, I don't think it's something that we need to make a cult. I guess cultic, because a lot of it is cultic these days. A lot of people are attempting to harness these powers by way of um, imagination, by way of study, and that could technically be in a way of attempting to but no, I don't want to say that because at the end of the day, that's what Hamashiach did. I'm not saying that he studied it. What I'm because that studying it is more craft like. A person actively trying to um, use those gifts to do evil. You understand what I'm saying? Or to get what they want, right? And he didn't do that. You get what I'm saying? So all the things that he did, like the pineal gland and things like that, that is significant. Okay, this is the reason why it always goes back to Egyptology, and I told you guys that. That's the reason why these modern day warlocks and witches, these so-called spiritual gurus, are so obsessed with opening up their third eye so that they can access that information that's stored in their DNA that's been passed on from generation to generation. Okay. And this is the reason why you have them talking about past life regression and things like that. And I told you guys that deja vu is nothing more but memories, right? And it's memories of, your ancestors, you understand, who have lived here. You get what I'm saying? Because that information is still stored in us. Traumas passed on, right? All those things are passed on by way of blood. So that's the reason why a certain smell, a certain scent, right? A certain sound, right? A certain look of things, right? An environment feels familiar to you because of those same familiar spirits that our ancestors entertained. And of course, by way of them living here on this earth before, right? So that's why I told you there's a saying that says that we are our ancestors, right? So the Most High has allowed for generations upon generations to go forth and for us to be put into captivity so that we will learn, right? We will learn and be perfected that way. And that's why I said he cleansed the bloodline that way as well. That's why it's only a micro few of us left. You know what I'm saying? This generation. It's only a micro few of us left in this generation, right? So what he did, Hamashiach, connecting to the earth and all those type of things, you get what I'm saying? That's the reason why in scripture he's also called the son of Adam, right? He's also called Adam too, right? So if you think about what happened even in the garden, right? Adam, uh, they weren't even eating meat in animals before they had fallen in the garden, right? They weren't doing any of that. They were just, I guess you can say herbivores, right? They were just eating herbs and plants and fruits and things like that and veggies. I guess you can say they had like a vegetation, a veggie diet or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't until they fallen where, they had basically given up their dominion. That is when they had to now go out and kill, you know what I'm saying, to eat a meal. They'll have to slave, you know what I mean, work earnestly to make a living, right? Until death. So death came, so that meant that you would have to kill animals to sustain your body, right? So that you wouldn't die of starvation. So a lot of those things are, I think, big telltale signs, and those are huge connections. Um, so Hamashiach, the things that he did in the spirit of the Most High Yah. Okay. Of course, we know those were supernatural, or what people may deem as superpowers, right? They were, because there was no other human doing that. So-called human, should I say. There was no man on earth that was doing that. Okay. No man on earth was doing that. So yeah. And even though people seen all those signs and wonders, you understand what I'm saying? The things that he was doing, it was like, wow, these people still wouldn't believe. They still wouldn't believe. Because you got to remember, even in Egypt, remember what was happening in ancient Egypt and Mizraim with Moses and Aaron. Remember all the things that Moses was doing when he, the Most High gave him the rod. Remember those sages and magicians of Pharaoh, they had, done their little dark arts too, and turned their rods into serpents, and were, keeping signs of the times by way of the stars, the constellations, and things like that. They were soothsaying and all of that. So that all the things that they saw Moses and Aaron do uh, through the spirit of the Most High, it was like, oh, okay, well, they're just basically magicians too. Like, that's how they looked at them, but they were powerful. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, they were powerful magicians. Like, oh, they're more powerful than us, because their serpents swallowed up ours, and then they're bringing these plagues upon our land. You understand what I'm saying? So they're like, oh yeah, and then after a while, it took that many damn plagues to get these people to believe that the Most High of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob wants you to let their people go. And he don't belong, he's not everybody's God. And that's what that was made known to them. That, oh, okay, yeah, okay, but this is the God who definitely created the heavens and the earth, who created all things. Their God is more powerful than our gods, because look at what's happening. We're not even able to call upon our gods. Same thing, hence, right? In Kings, First Kings, remember when Elijah was on Mount Carmel, right? And he told them, go ahead and kindle a fire. See if your God call upon you. Whoever God comes down and consumes the offering, that's who is the Most High of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is the God of all things. They said, well said. Cutting in their flesh, jumping on the table, acting like a dog, barking, meowing, all types of sick things. And that's why he mocked them. You see what I'm saying, though? The ignorance in these people, and the bold ignorance in these people. Okay. So I think that I've made my point when it comes to dexterity. I've made my point when it comes to the whole superpower thing. Um, there, we're in this program. I'm not saying because of that main reason, but that is definitely a huge factor, because they're afraid of us. They are gravely afraid of us. They are terrified. They are petrified. They are mortified of us. I'm telling you, they are. That's why they can't just walk up to you and just shoot you. They can't just walk up to you and punch you in your face. They would love to do that, but they can't. And the only thing that they can do is talk smack behind your back or in your face. You understand what I'm saying? Overtly, to get a rise out of you so that that will go ahead and level the playing fields for them to be able to attack you. You get what I'm saying? That's what they would love for you to do, is to give up your protection from the Most High. And in order to do that, is to put you into a space of sin. You get what I'm saying? That will compromise your protection from the Most High. Okay? That would. And then that's when they feel like, oh, well, they'll go ahead and attack you. It's time to attack, right? That's how these people operate. So they are mortified of us. They are. That's the reason why they can't look at you in your eyes, because when they look at you, they, guess what? They're really truly seeing how Mashiach's light shine through you. They are. They really are. And even the fake ones can't stand you. That's why they're bold. Like I said, they're the bold ignorance in these people, because they'll sit up there and try to pretend to be your friend and still play that game, reach out to you to do this, be on your lives, be on your damn posts, all of that. You get what I'm saying? They'll do all those things in hopes that they can still try to tether or siphon off of you, right? All they want to do is siphon off of you. That's it. That's it. And they despise you, right? They despise you. I can have more respect for somebody, an enemy of mine, who just knows that they hate me flat out, and they ain't gonna even try to pretend like they like me. They just know what it is. Are never gonna be sitting at the same table together. We're never gonna be seen in public together. You get what I'm saying? Like, the enemy knows that, and I know that about my enemy too. Like, I'm not gonna be sitting up there with your ass. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be sitting up there with your ass. And you know you ain't gonna be sitting up there with me either. So they're not even gonna try to pretend to be up in your face. But you got those sly ones, the ones who can't help it, the ones that are obsessed. See, those type are not obsessed with you. They just want you dead. You get what I'm saying? Like, those ones I respect the most. And at the end of the day, it ain't even the type of respect that you think it is when I say that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I can acknowledge that, because it's like, okay, cool, I can respect that at the end of the day, because you know and I know that we're enemies. You get what I'm saying? And we're never going to be friends. Never. Not in this life, ever. Right? So they just want you dead. They only going to participate because they want you dead. That's it. They ain't going to participate because they want to sit up here and laugh, and yeah, they're going to do all that too. But at the end of the day, they want to see blood. You get what I'm saying? And the Most High was telling me that as well. He always tells me, like, you got to be careful. Like, I remember he's like, I need you to be careful, because these people are out for blood. These people are out for blood, son. Okay. So the fallen once is gone. Okay. They want to unalive all of us, because they already know, if we live through it, and the Most High knows who he's going to allow to not taste death. And those are the ones that the fallen cannot stand the most too. Okay. Because they know that you're not going to taste death either. You just don't know. None of you probably know, don't know who's going to taste death and who's not. You understand what I'm saying? That's why, we are to prepare our hearts for any and everything. You get what I'm saying? And be ready to die for Hamashiach just as much as he died for us, right? He didn't waste no time. He didn't have no reservations about it. You understand what I'm saying? He did it because he wanted to do it, not because he needed to do it. He did it because he wanted to do it to save us. So we are to prepare our minds and hearts for us to have to do the same thing for him, for his name's sake. I know it's hard, because death is not easy. to accept for anybody. It ain't. And at the last moments of Hamashiach's life, you know, he had his disciples go out and pray with him, because he knew like this was about to be it, so he had to pray. And that's why he came back and he told them, like, come on now. He prayed about like 3 times. He said, can y'all not stay up? I ask you to just stay up and watch and pray with me once. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, I'm finna leave y'all. Like, this is about to be it. But only by his volition he did it. He didn't do it because he had to. He did it because he wanted to do it. And that's why he said, sleep not, lest you be tempted. Goes back again to what I said earlier about being in REM sleep, idle state. Only in that space would the enemy be able to consummate. I've said enough. It's pretty clear cut. If you're not operating in your spiritual authority by now, I don't know what's taking you so long. I don't know what's taking you so long, because you have it. That's right. You do. And ain't nothing wrong with you engaging in warfare against your enemies. They're attacking you. You understand what I'm saying? They are. And that's another reason why they hate me. I'm one of the most hated ones. I'm not even trying to be like that. I know I am, because they know that I know how to operate in spiritual warfare. And like I said, I've posted some cryptic things that has been pretty self-explanatory. I've said things like how I've overheard my enemy saying that I have a face of an angel, but the mind of a killer. Why would they say things like that? You understand what I'm saying? Saying things like, oh, well, you can still be a serial murderer or a killer and just kill people with your mind. Oh man, like, but I'm talking about the audacity in these people. Like, y'all got the gall to try to call me. And I even heard these people say things like they're comparing me to Jeffrey Dahmer. But my thing is like, I am not a serial killer. I'm not a serial murderer. None of that. I don't do none of that. Okay. So I don't know where that's coming from. But then again, I understand it. They're going to say things like that and deflection, because they already know that I'm operating in my spiritual authority. You get what I'm saying? And they have no proof. All of the so-called incrimination has not worked. You get what I'm saying? They cannot set me up for anything. So what you gonna do? And don't think I don't know that they're using my twin brother as a means to try to use AI to merge. You understand what I'm saying? Our looks, because we are fraternal twins. But my brother and I have the same anthropological structure. Okay, we do. I am a little bit taller than him. Okay, a little bit taller than him, but we still have distinct faces, mannerisms, and all. Okay, but in the event that they'll dress him up to look like me and shadow the camera a little bit, they can get away with making him look like me. You understand what I'm saying? Because my brother has a history um of things that he's done, and he's been in and out of prison before. So I'm pretty sure that that is how they've been using him to help incriminate me, to make it seem like I've committed all of those things. You see what I'm saying? When I have not. And they're doing it for the both of us. My brother's targeted too. You understand what I'm saying? They're just trying to play us against each other. But I'm intelligent enough to know they're doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say that my brother is less intelligent, because he's just like me. Like I said, we're both the same. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just a refined version of him, and he's more of a raw version of me. Okay. That's just it. But I'm just saying, like, my brother's just, you know, he's just misled in that sense. But at the end of the day, I know he knows. I know he knows. So that's that. I don't have anything else to say. Um, I know this live went on for like an hour, but it was supposed to be. Um, Dexterity is not determined by memorization. Superpowers is not determined by um, what's the word? Dark arts. It's not determined by knowledge. Okay, what you can gather, what you can study, what you can command. Superpowers, or by way of the spirit of the Most High, right? Great things can be done. You understand what I'm saying? So superpowers are not determined by knowledge. It's not determined by might, right? Because he said, not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, saith the Most High of hosts. So it's only by his spirit will you have superpowers. I'm done, y'all. I hope I've said something that was edifying. I hope I cleared up some things, gave my opinion on certain things that was spoken of in this live. To each his own. If you have any questions, please comment. Drop scriptures, because like I said, I am not a man who's shy from reproach. Okay, I don't shy away from reproach. Peace and blessings to my people scattered across the four corners of the earth, and to the stranger who has maligned themselves with us. With that, I'll say shalom.